All right, so this is a sponsored segment for Griftlands by Clay, so shout out to them for reaching out to me to do another segment. If you haven't seen this before, this game is a deck building roguelite that has a little bit more focus on storyline and RPG elements, which is what I really enjoyed about it. It reminds me of an RPG game where instead of there being just randomly generated numbers in the background when you try to perform tasks like combat or discussions and conversing with people, there is instead a deck building aspect to it where you play out your game actions with the deck that you build and play through. And I really enjoyed the role-playing aspect to it in addition to the actual deck building mechanics of the gameplay. So there are, I've not unlocked the third character yet. We finished a run with her last time, and we had a a medium successful run with him. I think I'm going to start a Rook run from the start and see how that goes. I'm going to kill this old one and start a new one with him.
You bear the brunt of the world when you wear a soldier's uniform. So you turned yours in and left the Admiralty. But even out of uniform, your name still carries the weight of your medals. Captain Rook, the veteran, the hero, the saboteur, the spy. These days you freelance, and you're on your way to a job in Grout Bog, where the Spark Barons plumb the ruins looking for forgotten treasures. The bugs there are hard to spot, but they bleed you dry if you let them. Seems like you'll fit in just fine.
The land around the Grout Bog squelches with mud, hungry for legs as well as boots. The only road leads to a gate flanked by armed security. A Spark Baron guard steps out of the path as you approach. Stop right there, the bog's closed. Especially for grifters like you. Unless you pay the processing fee. And then, so, one of the ways this game, a lot of people like to draw parallels between other deck builders like Slay the Spire and this one. And one of the things where this game really differs from those is you have two different decks that you build as you play. One of them is a negotiation deck to wear people down. So a lot of times you'll have the option to try and bribe your way through things, or you can play through it to save your currency. Opponent has -6 resolve because they isn't good at her job. Let's try. Forgive me for being skeptical of this fee. I'd like to speak to your supervisor. Yeah, just go full Karen. Yeah, the currency in this game is called shillings. Or shills. Shillings? Shills? One of the two. Okay, so you have action points over here in the corner, and each of your cards have so many actions. The goal is to wear down their resolve of their core argument to kind of win your way through the discussion, and they'll pop up other little things here. This will cause 4 resolve damage on one of our arguments. So we have a couple of cards here that cost 1 and a couple that cost 0. So Rook has a coin. So when you use the gamble mechanic, you flip your coin and either get heads or tails. And if you get heads with the coin that we have, we get composure. And if we get snails, we deal with damage. If it isn't shillings, it should be. So composure is like defense, and then these deal damage. Let's just play some cards out here. My coin is currently on head, so let's gamble and see if we can get snails. We got heads, so we get an extra composure. Flip it again. We got snails, which deals a damage to them. And now that this is on snails, it deals a bonus damage. When you're having a conversation with a guy and he starts flipping a coin a bunch, it's intimidating, right? So, like most deck building games, if you've never played one in paper, the cards that you draw go to your discard pile after you play them, and then when your deck would be empty, When your deck would be empty, your discard pile shuffles up and goes back over. Each of your cards here have a line down the middle that's unique to each individual card that you're playing, and the number of times you play this card, it levels up. So you, generally speaking, want to play as many cards as possible, so that way you can level up as many things as you can each turn. These deal extra when we're on heads. We don't have any. We're on snails right now, so these don't do a whole lot. Plus Trickery to start. Gives us 1 of 3 cards. Reverse your lucky coin. That's perfect. So we'll get to go ahead and grab flip side here. And flip this over to heads, which will make pleasantries deal max damage. And then I'm out of actions here, so we can't play these, so end of turn. Yes, yep, continues from battle to battle, Steric. So part of the way you're kind of building your deck and configuring it as you go. So like, for example, here, this is a good example of sequencing to optimize your leveling. Even though my pleasantries can finish her off here, I want to play Rationale first, so that way I get to level this up, or get a point towards leveling up. So I'm going to get to go ahead and finish her off, but I want to make sure I play my other card out first. Negotiation successful. We can pick a card. Sometimes it's optimal to not pick a card if you're presented with multiple cards that aren't good for your deck, because you don't want to have bad cards coming up your deck. And like, as you draft cards, what's the word that I'm searching for? As you draft cards, you kind of get an idea for like how you want your deck to be sculpted. So for instance, sometimes you'll want to build your deck in a way that focuses on your coin being heads. Sometimes you'll focus on tails, etc. So it says, if you're on heads, remove composure. If you're on tails, steal composure. Discard a card. There's also some of these cards. You can see this green one says it's a diplomacy card. These are hostility cards. Certain characters will be more accepting of diplomacy and more rejecting towards hostility, or there'll be cards that power up different things. So when you win the argument, you want to get your superiors involved. They'll let you through. Have it your way, but you better have some work papers, else the only thing I'm authorized to give you is a kick in your seat. No need for hostilities, I'm here by invitation. We are legit, chat. So who are you meant to report to? We're here to work security, so we can take names. Or we're here to work... We're here to dig, we'll get a shovel. Deals 2 bonus damage per empty cell, gain 2 defense. I take Blacklist. I think, Rook ends up better. So, like, you can see here the types of cards are listed. So this is a battle card, and this is a negotiation card. So, I think I'd rather grab Blacklist here, because this character tends to be better at negotiating than anything.
Capioca.
Thanks, Robin. It's good to be back. We're reporting to Felmo. Felmo doesn't like to be kept waiting. I gotta search you though. Got anything to declare? You rummage through your backpack and show them the contents. You've only got one thing worth declaring though. We can get some healing vapors. We can draft 2 negotiation cards. We can add a battle craft slot. Let's grab some negotiation cards. Attack 2 random arguments. If we're on snails, this card costs 0. And you can see here, so this card to start isn't very useful. It's just either free draw card or 1 draw card. But once you level it up, it'll either turn into Twisted Bluff and be 1 draw 2, or 0 draw 2, or Visionary Bluff. So I think I'm going to go ahead and take this once we get it. This is good to draft early because we'll level it up pretty quickly. Rig heads, rig 2 heads, and then prepare a card. What does rig do? Rig guarantees the outcome of your next gamble. And then prepare, let's just move a card to the left to get it. Certain cards have extra abilities when they're prepared.
Tuonne
Tapioca.
Sahulkia.
Am I free to go? Whatever. Don't try anything funny in there. You go through the gate, but you feel like Delwana will miss you when you're gone. Came by to drop off Prime. Didn't expect you to be around. That's neat. Squall Gamar, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back to a normal-ish schedule. Doing a few hours of Magic each morning and a couple of Griftlands for the next few days. And then Thursday, when the new Magic set releases, we'll be doing some Magic all day. Kendra is a local labor leader that has put out the word she's looking for some extra help. Check in with your old friend to work for the Spark Barons. Let's check with the labor leader first, rather than immediately being a corporate chill. You suddenly feel a white hot stinger in the back of your neck. Feel your neck. You carefully probe the area with your fingers. Whatever bit you is long gone, leaving the slightest smear of whatever it is left behind. A cool wave of euphoria radiates from the base of your skull, clearing your mind of further thoughts. We gained resolve, but our deck gained a stem. This is drawn, increase the cost of a random card in your hand until end of turn. Unplayable Hatch Parasite. Removing this card from your deck lowers your maximum health by 10. When this card reaches full XP, it's destroyed and triggers a special event. Christy and Haley are doing well. The boys have been cautiously curious. They've been interested, but not super. And I'm sure, like, little babies don't do a whole lot, so I'm sure until she starts crawling and moving around a little bit, they're not going to be too super interested. A 10-ton hammer and Korluski, I appreciate that. Welcome back. A guard blocks your entrance. What's this then? Koff notices the Spark Baron list you have tucked under your arm. You have no business here.
Shutsona.
I need to talk to Kalendra. She's expecting me. Okay, so he doesn't want to let us pass, and then we had the option to either walk away or try and convince them to let us through. So they're going to deal 4 to ours here, and your resolve carries over argument to argument. So I'm going to go ahead and apply composure here. So this way we don't take damage. When will I be able to play with him? Yep. Alright, so Blacklist takes names and then gains 1 damage for each name taken. So this is a card you always want to play out each fight because it levels up fight to fight. So this does extra damage if we have heads. So let's do this. Sick. Love to see it. And now we're on heads. I would love to draw a card. And then stem, increase the cost of that. Rude. Thanks, Sojourner. Get our gamble in. We gambled at the end there because we were already on heads and didn't want to lose it. When will Magic resume? We played Magic for 3 hours to start this morning, Johnny. You can always find my schedule that includes not only when I'm live, but with what on my website here. So now we want to gamble before we do anything because if we hit heads, these let us deal extra damage. Hashtag sometimes lucky. I'm going to prioritize using this rationale as opposed to this one, because this one's closer to leveling up. And then again, this is going to finish them, but I would like to play out these other cards first, so that way I get points towards leveling them up. When you want to fight, you get to draft more cards. This costs 4. Every time you gamble, reduce the cost of this card by 1 until end of turn. Well, that's neat. So it's like only useful when you've gambled for the turn? Let's try that. If Galendra wants to see you, there must be a reason. Don't give me a reason to break you. Galendra holds herself like a leader in sheep's clothing. She looks up at you as you approach. Hey, Sojourner, thanks for the 16 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I believe you're the foreman. You pass her the work visa, quickly flashing your coin between your fingers when you do. Her eyes light up with maybe a spark of mischief. I am, but I warn you, this work isn't for the meek. The bog will be the death of you if you let it reach your neck. That's the code phrase you were expecting, so you respond in kind. Then I'll watch my step and keep my neck dry. Your Rook, then. Your references are glowing. That's unusual for this side of the bog. I can't give you the details now, but we're on a timeline. I need you to put you to work right away. So let's get started. As you say, you've hired me to do a job. I'm nothing if not professional. Happy to be in business. I promise you'll find me a fair employer. So you can see here, you get to pick between your different missions. The different missions that you'll get offered a lot of times differ run to run. So Griftlands often feels like it has a good amount of replayability because the different storylines of the characters you can run through with different difficulty modifiers. And even without difficulty modifiers, there's different choices that you get to make as you go through. So this one is battle and negotiation. This one is just negotiation. I think I'm going to try and prioritize being a negotiation character with this run. And that's something that you'll often... While sometimes you won't be able to choose between battling or negotiating, having one of the two be your strong suit tends to be good, it feels like. Take boots, for example. Every boot on every foot here was made far away and brought in by the barons and sold at a baron store. The workers need boots, so they need to pay whatever price the barons are asking. Those prices have been going up. Let's go talk to the shopkeep and see if we can push them back down. Howdy, Bio. Don't cause too much of a ruckus or the barons will make us find another way to pay. This one's all about soft power. Despite her name, tact has none. What do you want? What would it cost to buy some new boots? 20 shills. Not so bad. That's per boot, of course. I'm an American. What's soft power? Rough. So, and again, we could beat her up. We could demand lower prices. We could arrange a bulk discount. This is an intimidation attempt. Okay, and this is also too, like, even here you can see, like, the different permutation trees that Griftlands offers as you're playing through. So, like, this is an intimidation attempt, which changes how some of your cards work, so your diplomacy cards generally will be less effective. But also, if this one is successful, her opinion of us will change if we intimidate her. Whereas this, if we try and organize something that's more fair, her opinion of us will be more favorable afterwards. If you lower the prices, you'll make up the difference in volume. Okay, let's play this and draw a card. Let's get our blacklist, because again, we want to play this every time we do this, because it gets bigger each time. Okay, so we're already on heads, so we probably want to start with that. They're going to be hitting us for 4 this turn, so I probably wouldn't mind applying some composure here. Yeah, let's grumble and rationale here. It hits for 4 again. I like how we can just give her a kickback too. That's great. Prepare a card, draw a card, discard a card. Give your currently prepared card +2 bonus damage until end of turn. Okay, so if we do this, it'll give this extra damage, which means we'll be through here. We can give up some shillings to win the discussion. Alright, well, we like some intimidation cards. Deal 1 +1 damage for every argument you have. Spend all dominance, gamble 2, deal damage. Discard a card to gain dominance. I think I'm going to try and not take hostility cards. I'll try and be a little bit more tactful than that. Laymoon Civi, thanks for 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Just keeping me around. I'll give it a shot, but if it doesn't work, I'm going to have to raise the prices again. You are stopped by a contingent of Spark Barons. There's the grifter. What seems to be the trouble. The trouble is you sticking your nose in our pocketbooks. The prices at the company store are high because I get a cut. Hey, Zeller, thanks for the half year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Now that they're not as high, I won't get as much of a cut. Not getting as high of a cut makes me sad. It makes me want to do violent things to you. Unless, of course, you could make up the difference. Explain the concept of demand elasticity or defend ourselves. The prices are lower, but that'll just mean the workers can buy a greater volume of goods. You're going to get your money. That's simple economics. Does this guy strike you as someone who understands simple economics, chat? He has a monocle. He has to know how economics work. He stole my pleasantries. This argument's destroyed. It returns the card. Gains 1 composure for each hostility card I draw. Okay. They're gonna hit me for 4 here, so I'd probably like to just apply a bunch of composure. Straw man, when this argument is destroyed, gain 3 vulnerability. Alright, Blacklist is great here. Again, we want to play this every combat that we can because it scales over time. This has my pleasantries locked under it, so let's attack this. All of your damage tramples over. Oh, this gives me vulnerability. That makes sense. I should have known that. Alright, let's try and gamble here first. See if we can hit heads. Perfect. Okay, and then again, we have enough to finish them with Grumble here, but we're going to go ahead and call it first. So that way we can get Grumble played as well. Jargon. Apply 2 Composure to random friendly argument every time you play a card. Prepared. Apply. Oh, it has to be prepared. That's awkward. Doesn't seem very good. If this is prepared, deal +3 damage and draw a card. So it's our leftmost card. That's great. It's a crazy plan, but it might work. You'll hear from me if it doesn't. Tact. Agreed. It was in her economic interest to lower her prices. Violence is a useful tool, but not if we use it every time. Get paid some money. She likes us. Let's restore some resolve. God bless. What is this game and what's the investment to start playing? This is Griftlands, and I think it's actually on sale on Steam right now. I think it's $15 normally. Yeah, it's $15 normally. It's currently 15% off, so you get it for like 12 bucks. 13 bucks? 13. $12.74. There's a graph that lets you prepare a card every round, and it's great. Yeah, it sounds good. Yeah, I really didn't enjoy Slay the Spire because it just kind of felt like a single player optimizing game. And I like that this game actually has like a storyline along with it. And like this is our second time, this is my second or third time playing through Rook, and 1486 maple syrup money. I have another job. Let sleeping bogs die. So this one would be battle or grist for the mill. The Rise is holding a recruitment rally in the workers' quarters. Convince a crowd to attend and provide security at the meeting. Sure. The Barons caught wind and now people are too scared to attend. I need you to drum up attendance. Aren't you worried the Barons might try to interfere? Of course I am. That's why I'm asking you. You're going to provide protection. You realize my skills are of the covert variety, yes? This isn't the kind of work I'm suited for. Fine, but it's the work that needs doing, and the more even-handed you can be, the better. Slay the Spire has the story, kill the things, and get to the thing and kill it. Here's a list of folks I want to see in attendance. If you need supplies, check the last stand. We don't have much to spare here, but the barkeep sells whatever you might need. The bar is kind of a neutral ground for Spark Barons who pretend they're workers like them. Hey, a big toe. Let's get your sword to go with that shield. Thanks for the 12 months. Welcome back. I appreciate it. This game has some combo decks that go through it. When we played the other character, I think it was Sal is her name. We built a bleed combo deck last time. A dusty old Krajeshi approaches as you enter. Your Admiralty, yeah, I can read it across your shoulders. It was once. Aerostat, if I had to guess. Do we want to compliment him on his perception or tell him to pound off? Should we be pleasant? Be pleasant. They can take our youth, but they can't take our cunning. If they could, I'm sure they would. All right, well met. Enjoy your... Do you have your squadron coin? Can I see it? It's quite personal. You can't just like ask to see someone's coin, chat. I'm a collector. I have several coins of my own if you're up for a trade. I'm always here. I like the foot traffic. So you can trade coins with him to get different upside. So this is our current coin. Our current coin gives us a composure whenever we hit heads. It deals a damage when we hit snails. We could trade it for gain a composure to a random friendly argument, deal 2 to a random enemy argument. This is strictly better, right? Draw a card or discard a card. There's some variants. Apply 2 composure to a random friendly argument, deal 1 damage to a random enemy argument. So Mud and Marsh are strict upgrades for what we have, huh? And this one's just different. let's get the extra composure coin.
Utsio.
The bar is well known in your network, a quiet speakeasy where folks like you can rest away from prying eyes. If the clients keep their head down even as you come in, if they're curious enough to study your face, they're clever enough to hide it. My name is Rook, and I'm simply parched. The bartender inspects your coin, inspects you carefully, nods once, and keeps the conversation nice and low. Word was I should be expecting you. I don't need to make a habit of helping out more than I need to. Keep that in mind.
Kataso. Go Pelpo. Shanta. So. Totashe.
Pebble digs around the bar and produces a lined case of unlicensed graft, a gift, my fine friend. We've only just met. You call in good favors. So, grafts are modifiers that do different things when certain conditions are met. So this one, at the start of a battle, you get 3 concentration. At the start, your allies receive 2 power at the start of battle. At the start of each negotiation, rig 2 snails. Increases minimum damage of all attacks by 1. Have your concentration when you take enemy damage. Be snapped. I don't think I want to rig snails based on what our deck looks like so far. I'm just going to take the shills. Very useful. And what if I wanted to call in further favors? I got drinks and I got eats. If you want anything other than that, you'll have to talk to the Jakes. They have shop set up near the edge of the bog and the edge of the law, for that matter. But they're a cagey bunch. You might have to prove yourself worthy of their business. I'm sure you'll figure it out. Peace, Esco. So there's the black market over here. Let's go do the job that they gave us. We can go to the black market whenever we want. If the strain in his brow is anything to go by, Gura might be open to a new line of work. Convince Gura to go to the rally. I understand you'd be interested in learning more about the labor movement. What are you, a narc? Look, I'm staying out of trouble. I don't know nothing about no rally, and I don't intend to. At ease, I'm no narc, I assure you. Quite the contrary, I am a narc repellent. Okay, so if this card is prepared, it does extra damage. Prepared is the leftmost card in our hand. So this encourages us to sequence Rationale first here. So that way this can become prepared. Yeah, I agree. The writing in this game is really well done, Bulletproof Pope. Enjoy it a lot. Our pleasantries are getting close to leveling up, chat. This is actually going to be a really quick one. Just didn't take any damage. I elected not to gamble on the 0-cost card there, even though that could work towards leveling it up. Because if we gambled and didn't get heads again, there's potential that we wouldn't win the argument there, which wouldn't be ideal. When this card is drawn, gamble. When this card is drawn, gamble and draw a card. When this card is drawn, gamble and then discard a card. Snails, this card costs 0. Oh, this can eventually turn into a heads card. That's interesting. I like that. You sit on your own 2 feet, have you? Never have another worker step up and cover your shift when you were lagging? Never had a colleague watch for the Barons while you were trying to catch a nap between ships? I mean, of course, who hasn't? We gotta look out for each other here, or the Barons would bleed us dry. Exactly. Okay, Smarty Pants, I get your point. I'll go, but Hesh help us if there's trouble. That's 1 down. Maybe she's right after all. The next name on the list is Locke. Hey, Stormbrat, thanks for the 15 months. I appreciate that. You're stopped by a member of the Spark Barons, but you're used to pat-down and interrogations. You double-check the hidden pocket where you stashed the pamphlets is sealed. I hear someone's been rousing local rabble and spreading dissonant materials. That would be you, wouldn't it? Why, no, I wouldn't dream of it. Somehow, I find myself in need of convincing. We could pay her off. We could tell her. We could attack her. You can also, it's important to note, like in the battles here, like one of the battles earlier, it told us it would be a defensive fight, whereas here it tells us we would be the aggressor if we choose to fight, and whether or not you're the aggressor or defending yourself will impact the opinions of you from other people in the game as you go around. Colpog, thank you for the very generous tier 2 resub. I appreciate the 18 months. Welcome back. Deploy some composure because we're about to take 4. It's often ideal to avoid taking damage when you're able to because your resolve carries over battle to battle. Hey, dig is free. We're gonna take 4 here. We can rationale 2 of it away. Oh, I forgot to play my last action. One of those cards was free. Clicking too quick. Okay, so if we get this all the way to the left, it'll deal extra damage. So I can go... Let's grumble to start, because when we gamble, we might end up on not snails. Let's trickery. I would love to draw 2 cards. Let's gamble. Don't forget to destroy their arguments. I mean, sometimes it's useful to destroy their arguments. A lot of the time, you're just running them down, though. Like, this is gaining them composure. These give us vulnerability if we break them, so, like, there's not a lot of incentive to actually break those down. Great, and Bluff's gonna level up here after this fight, which is great. They're at 4 total. So if we go Composure into Pleasantries into either of these, we get to win. I could have picked up Blacklist, that's true. Get to upgrade Bluff. And I think we're going to end up focusing on heads this game, because we have a couple other things that are focused on heads, so let's do Visionary Bluff. Hey, that's another dig. And the digs, when we level them up, can be 0 on heads. So I think I'm just going to grab the digs here.
Happy a shot.
If you want to hold me up, take it up with the boss, but I'm due to set off the charges in 20 minutes, and alright, get to your workstation. But I know you're face labor if I smell the whiff of Union baking stink come off of you. They're Union busters, chat, they're no good. The Baron sputters like a faulty spigot, but otherwise doesn't stop you. That was closer than you'd like. You meet Locke. Convince Locke to attend the rally. We'll see you at the rally tonight, eh? I hear there's quite the banger, to borrow the local parlance. Rally, hesh no. I told Kalendra that Jarkle of hers, I wanted nothing to do with it. You don't need the rise, eh? You could look after yourself. Well, which is it? More or less? You're gonna unionize the crap out of him, chat. See a little bit of good, so let's go ahead and call it to start, I think. Found another heads. So this is not free quite yet. Let's go ahead and clear head to prepare this, which will let it get more damage. We get to draw a card, and then let's try and call it again. So if we can get snails, this will be free. Hashtag never lucky, chat. You will experience solidarity and you will like it. Sweet. Pleasantries is gonna level up after this fight. Where is it available? Well, it's available on Steam as well as the Epic Game Store. Oh, also something worth noting, they wanted me to mention this too. If you purchased this on Epic Game Store last time, when we played it, you could actually transfer that key to Steam if you'd prefer to have it on Steam. If you got lucky, the game would be bugged. Good call. Get to upgrade call it here. So we can either gamble twice or set the coin. I'd like to set the coin. Heads, deal max damage, destroy. Gain 1 influence. Influence. I don't really want to lose, so this makes it like a one and done. It destroys the cards. I think I'd rather have this. Yes, your resolve, and so your resolve is like your argument health, and then you have an actual health, which is for battles as well, and those carry over between battles, but when you rest at the end of the day, they're restored. You can also visit the barkeep to buy drinks, which will make you slightly drunk, but will restore those in the interim. Draw 2 cards, then gamble for each hostility drawn. Discard this card. Draw 1 and then gain a dominance. Draw 2 and then gamble for each hostility drawn. That doesn't seem very good. Should take the shillings. You're not wrong that the rally will be trouble. The Spark Barons are sure to send enforcements, so they're looking for any excuse to penalize those in attendance. But Calandra sent me to guarantee you'll be safe in the crowd. Wear a mask if you like. If trouble comes to the call, I'll be the one to answer the door, giving you a chance to slip out the back, as it were. You do that? Alright, maybe I can mosey by and give it a glance. Not committing to the rise or anything, just willing to hear what she's got to say. You probably have enough people convinced already, though, and the rally is starting soon. You could fudge the numbers if you wanted. I don't think I want to fudge the numbers. I think we have time to... I think we're going to try and convince the third person to show up. You find Bullet, hovel amidst the sprawl. You meet Bullet. I didn't think my day would involve grifter dealing. Ooh, that's a lot of resolve. Opponent has +6 resolve because they sympathize with the Spark Barons. Do we try and convince them to show up otherwise, or do you think we can take down 26? Let's try. I come bringing news despite what you might have heard. The labor rally is still on. Rain or shine, bog fog be damned. That is good news. I ain't going, of course. Are you sure? You wouldn't want to miss the event of the season. Blacklist on the opener is great, so let's do that. Let's go ahead and rationale, and then we can use this to set the coin. So let's get snails guaranteed, which makes dig free. Really good first turn there. Took them for 10 and didn't take any ourselves. Diplomacy cards deal -1 damage with a minimum of 1 damage. Well, that's just rude. Ugh. Low rolled on that. So this is our leftmost. It gets cheaper. However, we have stem in our hand, which is unplayable, so we can't get this to be prepared this turn. All right, so let's do this to rig. Oh, we can prepare this. Oh, that's sick. Right, we're a combo deck, chat. See? Just good beats. And then I think we actually want to... Oh, I guess this gains composure too, huh? Because this will flip our coin up. Okay, I want to do this because we have rig, so we're guaranteed to get heads. Armageddon, thank you for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. What does this do? When destroyed, they lose 6 resolve. Oh, yeah. All right. So let's do this. Look at that. No problem. Boop, I'm right on the nose. We got 3 upgrades. Sick. Gain 1 influence, deal max damage, prepare a card, deal max damage. I think I want to move towards getting more things that prepare my stuff so we can draft some more of those. Set the coin, deal max damage. So expend is different than destroy. Expend means we lose it for the rest of the battle, but it comes back next one. That sounds reasonable. Composure. I think I'd rather draw than rig heads. That bloke, thanks for the quarter of a year. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Gamble, deal 4 damage to all enemy arguments. So this does nothing if we don't hit heads though. Do we have enough rigging in our deck for this to be good? I feel like the answer is no. I also kind of like bluff. You think this is some rally, but it's actually a test of your mettle. Barons will be watching, but they'll be looking for those who stand above the rest. Workers of merit, workers of integrity. Are you saying this rally is some sort of test? I'm not saying anything, but I will say that the only way to fail is to fail to make an appearance. Well, Hesh, nobody told me it wasn't a real rally. I'll be sure to be there with bells on. If I can requisition bells, that is, we're only allotted so many per workhouse. It's not honest, but it's still a win. You've worked through the whole list from Kalendra. Imagine it's worth it. You should get to that rally. You'd hate to miss the opening act. You find the corner Kalendra told you about. An anchored trolley stands in place of a podium, and Rise volunteers hand out pamphlets with one hand while clenching makeshift signs in the other. A couple of barons are standing guard, and one of them snatches a pamphlet and stares at the content. When Drawbit appears, he silences the onlooker with a raised palm before stepping up to the trolley. Hail, laborers, workers, agents of making, because that's what we are, if you can believe it. The barons might beat the drum, might issue the scripts when they feel like it, and demerits more often than that. But make no mistake, we are the ones that make things happen, and that's why we hold the power. Seize the means of production. Whoa, I think the RTX voice is even filtering out my desk going up. It's good value. And that's how it starts. Some of the audience starts eyeing the crowd as if planning their escape, and you can hardly blame them. Talk like this on Derek would only earn the crowd a face full of mustard, but Drawbit's a good speaker, and more stick around than not while barons watch on. You scan the crowd looking for mischief. Sure enough, a group of laborers, at first scattered around the outside of the crowd, begin to converge in the middle. One of them waits for a nod from her buddies, then cups her hands around her mouth and bleats. Yeah, death to the barons, down with the bosses. She looks around after outbursts and sees she failed to have much of an impact. We should take things into our own hand. The barons don't step in. In fact, they're not even watching the loudmouth, almost certainly a plant. Seems like the goon squad has arrived and they're here to stir up trouble. We're down to 8 resolve, chat. Can we de-escalate on 8 resolve? A riot would be the first thing Barons want, ain't it? Look at that. They're here instigating. We're gonna stomp the Barons. Not if we give them an excuse to stomp us first. You better watch out what you're insinuating, or I'll insinuate my foot in your face. You can trust Rook. Targets an opponent's argument for a damage. Alright, so if we gamble, and then we play through these, this can be our prepared card. So hopefully we hit snails here. So that way this can be free. Okay. Oh, that's actually a mistake. I should have done that first to draw a card, because this could have been free, because I started on heads. Gain a bonus action next turn. Sounds great. Alright, down to 6, chat. And they've got 4 queued up here. It's not great for a hero. Apply some composure. Blacklist is a pretty big hit. What does this say? Diplomacy cards deal -1 damage. Yeah, I should probably kill that. I have a lot of diplomacy. Let's level this up, and we hit some composure. Perfect. On the heads. Okay, still at 6. They're at 7. Oh, choose a card to prepare. That doesn't really matter. Then Grumble's closer to leveling than Dig, but I think I want to prioritize leveling Dig, because if we level Dig, it works better with heads. Gamble, heads deal 4. So this will give us a little bit more consistency. This will give us a higher upside if we rig heads. Let's go for the high roll. It's another dig. Yeah, like it. What about Drobit, huh? What does Drobit think we should do? A few voices in the crowd shout in agreement and all head turned back towards the trolley. Thanks for asking, Rook. I think we should deal with the goon squad in our midst, but I trust your discretion on that. The crowd turns treacherously on the goon, who suddenly realizes the fire she stokes now needs fuel to burn. Alright, I'm just a stooge. The Spark Barons are looking for an excuse. Speak of the devil, you catch the glint of a cross bolt as Spark Barons take aim. You shove Pluck out of the way before she catches a bead. Get out of here now before I regret saving your grimy hide. The Baron Sniper glares at you, weapon already concealed back into the folds of the uniform. Pluck slinks out of the crowd. A few of the Rise gather around Drobit and whisk him out of harm's way before things get out of hand, but the Spark Baron's open aggression played its part. The crowd disperses quickly, with Rise pamphlets clenched tightly in the fist. That went well, chat. We're going to seize the means of production. I think we're really reaching the people. Thanks, Rook. You vacate the area in case the Barons come back. The rally is over. Good work. This one really reached people. You're paid 69 shills. Gain a battle card crackler. Increase the target's panic meter by damage done. Sure. Yeah, this is. I started a new run, Tens and Hammer, so we can do it from the start. The bar I mentioned earlier, it's kind of a neutral ground. Meet me there after nightfall and we'll discuss it. I was wondering if you only hired me for my dagger and forgot my cloak. Later, alright? Elk's got a reputation of keeping her chin up and taking blows when they come her way. Not that that's a reputation anybody should really want. Another day in the feud, Healing supplies. There's a healing cache in the bog. Quiet clearing. The tide has revealed a path to a peaceful clearing. Let's go to the clearing. And you see these said limited time opportunities, so we'll only do one or the other here. That's not going to wait till later. You follow the path until you get to a clearing. You take a seat on a soft patch of grass, taking in the sounds. Take a nap. Take a long nap. This restores, so this does 10 resolve. This loses us health but gives us 25 resolve. I think I'd rather take the long nap because resolve is mostly what we're using here. We're trying to avoid battles when possible. You bunch up a small mound of moss and use it as a pillow to find a comfortable position to drift off in. When you finally wake up, you feel completely refreshed, but also a bit sore from lying on the ground. Heal. Let's go meet Kalendra at the bar. Hello, Rook. You can buy cards. These are all battle cards. Gain a power. Add 2 copies of Hasten. Gain an action. Yeah, those seem very useful. Nothing for me, barkeep. I'm only here to meet someone. You lean against the bar and watch the crowd as you wait for the sunset. With the last of the light, Kalendra walks through the door. Time for the real reason I hired you, I think. You know, it wasn't just to babysit my workers. I assume not. You seem capable of doing that yourself. The reason I hired you and not any of the other grifters with guns just as quick as yours is because I know you go back with Felmo. I need you to infiltrate the Spark Barons. Going undercover, chat. Ah, the pieces are beginning to coalesce. There's a worker, one of mine actually. He's been stealing from Barons for a while now, but I looked the other way until he started stealing from my other workers too. Take him with you when you go to meet the Barons as a sign of good faith. Deal. I would have appreciated you giving me the details sooner, but I can't say I'm not grateful for the challenge. Now, it must be years since you last saw your old pal. Do you think it's time you paid him a visit? Yes, and I know just the present to bring him to. Find Dell at his home and take him prisoner. Count your winnings. A mysterious gambler has been plying his trade in the bog. Desolate battlefield. A fight took place here. Perhaps there's some treasure lying about. Do you want to visit the gambler or scavenge for stiff? Let's gamble. I'm a magic player. Let's gamble. You see Krajussi trying to get the attention of the crowd. Step right up, test your luck. Disinterested workers stream past him, too absorbed in their own troubles to take on his. What are you selling here, friend? Oh, you startled me, Grifter. Nobody ever stops me here in the bog. Which I need to donate to have you give a unique voice to each character. I don't know if I can consistently do that. I'm offering a moment's respite for the drudgery of daily life. There's a hungry glint. Test your luck with my game of chance. Sounds good. Show me what you've got. Keep an eye on the coin. Here we go. Call it. Your practice eye tells you the coin is weighted to come up heads. You win. You're on a hot streak. We should go double or nothing. Your technique is good, but not great. Heads. Snails. Heads. You can keep it up all day if you use your wrist properly. Listen, man, I don't want any trouble. I think I'd rather have the Marsh coin. Like, getting composure. Like, we are building a deck towards heads. So, waiting towards heads is nice. But, like, getting composure and dealing damage when we flip coins sounds fine. So, we can let him off with a warning and he'll like us. We can give him money and he'll love us. Or we can demand all of his money and he'll hate us. I'm off with a warning. Fred the Third, thanks for the 2 years of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Don't you try grifting out of your league again, or you might find yourself with fewer limbs. Hey, sorry about that, Moikar. Hope everything sorts out for you. Yeah, I'm planning to be back a few times a week. I'm going to be live Monday through Friday this week with the set release. And then we'll see what the schedule looks like after that, depending on how Christy and the kids are doing. We have to fight here, so we might have to fight here to take this guy prisoner. Word is Dell fights for his workers, but nobody's ever really selfless in the Griftlands, right? I'd ask what you're up to lurking through the feud at night, but then you might ask me the same. You're coming with me. You're not a baron, are you? You're just working with them? We can work on a deal that will help us both. Oh, sweet. We can talk them down. You cannot run from this fight once it starts. 200. Let's get this in. We're almost at the end of the day, so we should be able to rest soon. So if we burn some resolve here, it's not a big deal. This card is free because we're on heads.
With Yelly.
You're hitting us for 4. So might want to apply some composure here. Rationale's getting close to leveling up. I think I want to work on leveling my dig here as well. Blacklist is great. Want to use that. Let's see what their argument is over here first. Target an opponent's argument each turn for 2 damage. Well, let's get rid of that one. Wait, did I just do damage to myself? Is there an action log in this game? Did I not read that whole thing? The trample damage hit us instead? Really? Did it say it was going to do that? I believe it said it was going to do that, and I wasn't paying attention. And then this one lets us set it to snails, and then we get to play this for free. It's the opponent's main argument's passive effect. When argument damage spills over against Dell's arguments and targets your core argument instead. Oh yeah, I should read these things, huh? It's good advice that transcends all card games, chat. Reading is busted. Acker, thanks for the 18 months. It's really not fair, chat. Did like 7 damage to myself with my blacklist. They would be like 8 lower. Whew. Are those good, chat? Are those some good digs? Alright, messed up a little, but it's fine. Set the coin, sounds great. Apply 4 composure. Gamble. If heads, apply 5 composure. I think I'd rather have the guaranteed 4. We have a number of things that prepare. I think I'm going to get more grunts. Okay, I'll go with you. As you're passing by a bubbling tar pit, you hear a high-pitched whine from somewhere nearby. Looking around, you spot a lone Kraden pup struggling in the black mud. Untrained pets help you in battle, but are a disadvantage in negotiations. Sorry, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt our ability to negotiate, chat. Can't do it. At the gate to the Baron Enclave, You leave a message for Felmo, hoping that your name still carries enough weight to get you in the door. Sure enough, you're escorted inside, but it's not Felmo who greets you. You have 5 minutes to state your case, Grifter. Then we trigger the attack protocols. Let's not be hasty now. Felmo should be expecting me. I have here a member of the Rise, a wanton miscreant. He'll no doubt want to question. I simply wish to help my old friend with his Rise problem. He should know I'm an experienced agent. I can infiltrate, assimilate, and sabotage with precision. This is supposed to make me trust you. I do have one way to test your loyalties, perhaps. Automechs are cheap to use once they're built, but they're expensive to build. Each one has to be meticulously pieced together from salvaged bog tech and then programmed to follow commands. The techs in the field tell me they've got a plan to make the second part quicker and easier, but they need someone with fighting expertise. Alright, and this is a battle mission. So like I said, sometimes you can't get out of battling. So let's see how this goes. Hey, Paladin, good to be back. Maybe we should have helped the dog down so he can help us battle. Yeah, maybe. If we knew there was a forced battle coming up, maybe our thoughts would be different. As you enter the Automech factory, dozens of half-completed Automechs turn their sensors towards you. A harried-looking administrator walks over. This area is off-limits. What are you doing here? Aren't sent me. I'm supposed to help train some Automechs. Oh, you're the guinea pig. I mean, Grifter. It's about time you got here. So what do you need me to do? I've got 2 models ready for the proving ground out in the bog. Just pick one and take it there with you. Sure. It's a pretty standard model. We just assembled it. I don't foresee any issues. Should be straightforward. Try to be discreet. It won't be any use to you in a fight. Rise steps out of the bushes, brandishing weapons. Tell that thing to stop walking. I have a proposition for you, Grifter. You're taking the Automech to the proving ground. Let me make a couple adjustments to it first, or you could try and stop us. Ah, go for it. Do it. Good choice. Opens the access panel and tinkers. It's done. Now keep your mouth shut. I have no problems. We're fine letting them screw with the Spark Barons. You find the proving ground. Automech parts litter the ground around a technician who's adjusting some equipment. Some demoralizing Rise members mill about in a makeshift jail guarded by a couple of Barons. The technician looks up as you approach. You brought the new mech? Nice, a new model. This should work well. Let's get started. See those Rise over there? I'm going to release them, and then you're going to fight them. The Automech will observe, and if you do your job right, it will learn a thing or two. You want me to attack unarmed captives? No, of course not. I'm going to give them their weapons back first. No. This isn't right. I'm not going to attack prisoners for you. And the Automech will learn by watching them attack you. Retreats behind the blast shield and presses the button. The prisoners' bars receive and release the Rise prisoners. They grab their weapons and charge at you. Convince the Rise you want to help them. Felmo is sabotaging you, increasing their arguments. First card played at the start of your turn is played twice. It's not bad. Mixer is shutting down in July and partnering with Facebook Gaming. That's an interesting consolidation. It's an interesting consolidation. Let's level the dig here, actually. I'm not sure try and get that up as quick as possible. Insert 1 propaganda card into Rook's draw pile at the beginning of their turn. Prepare a card. Let's Trickery first to see if we get something that lets us gamble. This lets us draw cards. This could be a gamble. Facebook Gaming is integrating. What's xCloud? Okay, that sets the coin, which can make this free. So let's go ahead and Shifting Pleasantries. Prepare a card. Preparing card doesn't really matter here. And then we'll do this. And then we can do this. And then I can go ahead and set the coin to head, so we have a little extra composure here. Thanks, Dibbles. I appreciate the 17 months. Welcome back. Prepare a card, swap its cost with this card's cost. Let's do this and draw a card, see if we can draw a lethal one. Our Grunt's gonna level up, chat. Prepared, deal +5, draw a card. Yeah, we're preparing quite often, so let's just get the high rolls in. Draw 2, then gamble. Heads, those cards cost 1 less until played. I don't know that we have enough rig for this to be good or not. Okay, Grifter, get me out of this thing and you've won yourself a friend. So now we have to wipe out the Barons. Okay. Alright, so now this is our first unavoidable battle here. So they're about to smack us for a ton. We've got 11 points up top. So let's apply. I think I'm just gonna stack a bunch of defense this turn. Similar gameplay patterns at the core to how negotiations work. Only we have a different deck that we're working off of, a different life total that transitions. We don't have to worry about the downside of them hating us if we kill them. Ain't that the truth? Alright, so we have kicks, and we have hair triggers. Improvise a card. Spend all charge, deal 1 bonus point per damage spent. Increases the panic meter by damage done. Spark Mine. When destroyed, deals 8 damage to all fighters on the same team. Gain stacks every turn. When the surface has disturbed the bog, this burr will return to the bog in 6 turns. Yeah, that's true. Our deck is not upgraded. I'm gonna go ahead and use my Cackler here. Let's put my Hunker down. One thing to notice here too, you see she's got this white bar. That means she, when her health total gets this white bar, she panics and stops fighting. Something worth noting. Maybe I'm just supposed to kick there rather than level up those other two. With Rook, you gain defense equal to empty cells at the end of your turn. At the end of your turn, you gain 1 defense per empty cell. Oh, that's interesting. I feel like that's different than the last time I played this character. So I'll gain 4 defense here because my charges are empty. Nope, what am I not understanding? In your turn, gain 1 defense per empty cell. Alright, what am I not understanding about that? At the end of your turn, you gain 1 defend per empty cell. At the start of your turn, gain... Oh, you gained it but then got shot. Okay, so it happens and then they deal damage. Got it. That makes sense. Okay, and then we're 33% to end this guy here. So, of course, we low rolled. Dead. We are about to take 10. Actually, let's use this hunker down. So we'll take 5 altogether here because we have 2 empty cells. So finding ways to spend your charge is actually pretty good on average then. We might be successful in our first combat, chat. Which is nice. Double hunker here since she's coming for us. This card's drawn, taking damage. It's from the stupid bug bite earlier. She's like charging up here. 9 ball here. It's a big hit. Alright, she's at 7, so I think I want to prioritize. Sweet. Again, just like playing out extra cards I don't have to play so I can work towards leveling them up in case we're forced to fight again in the future. Frash hates you. You've incurred his fury and will likely face consequences. Kibi hates you. Like money. Oh, right. When you win fights, you get resolve back. Spend a charge to deal 2 damage per empty cell. Yeah, spending charges seems real good. Barons are dead. Remaining rise, run away. And now this person likes us because we saved them. You thrash the still passive automac and make it look like the scene's a training accident. Nice. There's a terrible accident at the Proving Grounds. Everyone is dead. It happens. I'll dock the factory supervisor pay for the cleanup. Hey, thanks for the biddies, twin. Happy Monday. What else are we going to do? Stop using autobex? Here's your pay. You've been paid 115 shills. Whenever you shuffle your deck, deal 3 damage to a random enemy argument. Yep, in. Our deck has a number of things that draw cards in it, so getting to shuffle, you shuffle every time your deck runs out of cards, so drawing through our deck will be better now with that craft. Felmo enters the room, and Arnie steps to the side, head bowed in deference, eyes locked on yours. So,
Becco.
I don't see you in years, Rook, and now you show up at my door with enemy ties, expecting a warm welcome. I'm ever the optimist, I suppose. It's good to see you. Can it? Everybody out. I need a moment alone with the slippery eel. The room empties, though our neat mouse threatens you as she goes. Well? Within seconds, Felmo melts into the relaxed stance you remember. He reaches under your desk for 2 polished glasses and passes you a drink poured from his hip flask. It went as you suspected. Kalendra has asked me to infiltrate the Barrens. Apparently, you took something she wants back. Ah, yes, I knew that would be the ice pick in her temple. She doesn't suspect your true allegiances. Not as far as I can tell. What's next? Oh, no! Oh, no, are we really a mole for the police, chat? I don't want to be a Spark Baron mole. I want to be the Union side, not the Union Buster side. You'll do as she anticipates. Come see me every day and check in with her as she requires. I really hope it lets us pick who we side with at the end of the day. Once you have her trust, I'll tell you the next step. You'll have to forgive the ruse, of course. I'll continue to distrust you in front of my underlings. Naturally, all the same, it's good to see you. You found a place to lay your head. Some bar called The Last Stand. It'll do. Now, sod off, Grifter will have work for you to do tomorrow. You can double across them and become a Union shill. Excellent. You love to hear it. Get a spark grenade. Expedition boy. I'll take a spark grenade. The storyline is you playing on both sides and essentially vague on who you're actually working for. Ain't stopping you. Can change outfits. Oh, I only have one so far. That's sad. Krog is happy to see you. I found something the other day that made me think of you. You don't have to take it. It's yours if you want. I would love a spark grenade. Thanks, Krog. It'll be a good use. A clever smuggler like yourself can put this to some use. Thanks, I'll remember that. He loves us, chat. He loves us. Is it always the same map, or do you move around to other sectors, whatever we call them? Each character has their own map, Lumacopter. So I believe there's 3 characters right now. There's Rook, Sal, and Smith, I think is the 3rd one. Yeah, the events on the map differ depending on just some variance factors, as well as your decision points trigger events in different orders. Yeah, every character has their own story as well. There's a lot of content in this game. In fact, we're probably going to finish this Rook run. Who knows how long that's going to take. We're only on day 1, and we've been playing for 90 minutes already. So, like, after this Rook run, we'll probably do another one with Sal, I think. So I'll highlight a little bit of that. If you're curious, we're going to play today for another half hour, 45 minutes or so. And then if you're curious to see more of this, you can find more up on my YouTube channel from last time we did this. Yeah, Haba Hut. If you look on the Griftlands website, there should be details on how to get a Steam key, so you don't have to use the Epic thing. The highest quality in Grout Bog. Anyways, you can buy a combat drone or an auto dog. Buy a box of grenades. Ask about the robot dog. What's the catch? Is it broken? No, it's in perfect condition. It'll be fiercely loyal to you. Just don't ask where it came from. Get a dog. You arrived at the dead drop. It's much like all the others around Tavernia, empty but full of anticipation. You jot down a few notes about the rise and spark barriers and shove the wax envelope into the sealed canister. If you're any less experienced, you wouldn't notice the sudden silence as someone approaches behind you. You're well out of the shallows, Hessian. If you're looking for cult secrets, I'm retired. I don't trade in those anymore. No, secrets are the only thing that heretics here accept as currency. Is that why you followed me here? It has nothing to do with you? Remember our old times, our memories, are all our masters let us keep. You know her too well that she have any hopes to neglect her duty. Let's try to intimidate here. There was a time when we could find common ground even in the darkest days. When destroyed, gives her one impatient. When her arguments are destroyed, splash damage is converted to composure instead. So extra damage actually defends her as opposed to anything else. Blacklist sounds great. Open on that one. And then let's set the coin here. Gain a little composure, and then this will deal max damage. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Yeah, I'm in for bluff. Leveling bluff up is great because it lets us cycle through our deck, and we have the graph that deals damage whenever we shuffle. I seem to remember a time when you let a heretic slip through your fingers with the holy relic. Who helped you then, old friend? Your god or me? You're only dragging the inevitable. I wish you wouldn't. As you like. Alright, well that's unfortunate, because she's got a lot of life here, and we do not have a lot. Deal 5 damage to yourself, apply stun. That doesn't seem very good. Oh, I could have kicked again. Alright, so she's coming in for 6. It's bonus damage equal to 25% the target's health. Well, we're taking 6, so probably want to put some defense up. Would like to ideally find something here that lets us spend some charge. Well, I guess Shock Core means we live, right? Because it'll stop her from hitting us. We'll receive 8 damage from misfunctioning charge cells. How are we still dying? How are we dying? I don't understand. What am I missing here? Take 2 damage per charge, remove one of your malfunctioning, remove 3 power at the end of your turn. How many charge cells do I have? I have 4, right? Plus 2. Oh, is it plus 2? No, I don't understand. We'll receive 8 damage from... Like, my health is at 15, right? Like, why am I dying? Like, can anybody decipher the interface here? Is it because of power? Attack damage is increased by 3? Does that increase this damage I'm taking from this? Like, I could do this, but I think I'm still... Okay, so now we're not dead? Okay, I don't... Alright, we scraped it out. Do we execute her? See if we live to regret accepting this. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of combat with Rook. It could also be like because we're not focused on it too. If I walk away now, it's to Hesh's judgment. Surely you know that's worse than whatever fate you can deal me. Alright. Suppose that's true. Consider this a small mercy then. To quick pull the trigger to finish her off, and easy work to drag the body into the bush. Alright. They have a room ready, time to recharge. God bless. How about the room you promised? I'll go wake up the cockroaches. New loves, new likes. No dislikes, just hates, you know? Check in with Calandra here. Hey, Labra, I'm glad you've been enjoying Runeterra. Yeah, starting next week, Runeterra is going to be part of my regular schedule for sure. With fitting some Griftlands in this week and the Magic set release, I just wasn't able to fit it in. But I'm gonna be doing some Runeterra every day, I think, starting again next week. Shall we begin? I imagine there's a great deal of work to be done undermining the enemy. We've been laying the groundwork since the small hours. Now it's your turn. The Barons move Spark through the bog at night, thinking that the darkness protects them. It does not. We are the bog. One of our cells is ready to strike, but they're down a fighter. Go make sure they succeed. It's another battle one. Okay. You buy factional items here while you're on the clock. Let's go to the ambush site, huh? You find the ambush spot and the rise cell that's waiting there. Intruder detected. Wait, who's that? Calandra sent me. She said you need some help. Oh, do I ever? We're a bit understaffed. Finish it. Be careful what you say around that thing. Something's not right here. Select all, destroy, drop the loot, and reach for the sky. It's intimidate, huh? If you're looking for my magic schedule, Willie, you can find that up on my website here. We played a couple of historic decks this morning. We'll be doing some historic every day again moving forward. Welcome back. I'd do what he says if I were you. You point out the Rise corpse. The last person to cross him didn't get off lightly. Just listen, okay? Oh, yeah. Get those. Those sweet, sweet digs in, chat. Unfortunately, can't play Blacklist here with only one action left. It's 2 composure for every hostility card we draw. Yikes. This has 3. Let's get rid of that.
See at your back. Una sosa. Catelta.
This argument is destroyed. Return all cards to us. Sure. So this lets them take one of my cards. Hostility cards deal additional 2 damage, reduced by 1 when you play a non-hostility card. None of these prepare, unfortunately. Your kid wants this conversation to end. Oh, don't worry, we're gonna end it for you. Set this to heads. Sorts of composure. Trickery's all ready to level up, so we're about to end this. So let's go ahead and rationale. Just play out some of these cards to work them out and level up. Work on our dig. Let's upgrade a dig, so that way it works better with heads, since we're mostly a heads deck. Trickery. And provides a card for an improved pool. Choose one of 5 cards. Okay, so this gives us one of 3 better cards. This gives us a wider range of things to do. I think I'd rather have stronger cards with less selection. None of those really look like they synergize with the deck that we're building, so we'll pass on them, grab some shillings. The Barbarians unload the spark that they were carrying. Now let us go, that's part of the deal. They've seen our faces, we have to finish them off. That's harsh. Do we just let him kill the survivors, chat? Or do we convince him? Like, it's still really early in the day, and I really don't want to lose more composure. I'm just here for a check, you do it. It's done. I'll make sure the spark gets where it needs to go. Tell Calandra the ambush was a success. We did it. Pick a graph reward. At the start of each negotiation, rig tails. It's not very useful. Gain 10 max health. Yep. Sounds good. The quartermaster at HQ might have some spare cobble dogs you can use. See what the barons have for us today. You've returned. What next? Cut to the chase, don't you, old chap? Caught in the chaos. This one requires discretion. Frankly, it's insulting you'd even specify. Your track record of late has been spotty, you know? And I'm the client, I'll set the parameters as I see fit. There's a small upset in one of the work camps. We sent in the usual suppression force, and well, the workers have been quelled, but a rise made off with a baron captive. It'd be one thing if it were a foreman, but you could see how it would be damaging to the brand. Make the problem go away. Whatever it takes, old chap. Get him back. Fortunately, it's easy enough to find the Rise encampment, which means they're open to negotiation. After all, they know the bog better than you do. If they didn't want to be found, it'd be much more of a challenge. Sure enough, you're not shot on sight and a Rise member approaches you. What do you want? This part of the bog ain't hospitable to gawkers. I've come seeking a baron. Have you heard of him? Let's them. Our task is important. Cleanser sent me. I'm to escort them to a safe house. We have good reason to believe the barons have rescued mine. We need to convince them otherwise. At the start of each turn, a random card in hand costs 1 extra action. This negotiation doubles the damage this card deals. Do you see it? The old 11 ball. Dig working towards leveling up there too, which is great. Insert 1 propaganda card into Rook's deck at the beginning of the draw. That's probably... Yeah, let's do that. I would love to draw 2. And then Blacklist here does a 10 ball. Then I can cordial. Oh, I messed that up. Because this is gonna kill them, right? So I was thinking I would get to finish her with dig, but the flipping the coin deals the damage, so I didn't get to level up my dig. That's sad. Hey, Fizzy Dragon, thanks for the 2.5 years of support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Rig snails. Just attack twice. Well, you seem very useful. Spend that influence. This card gains 3 bonus damage. Well, Vect is more important than we first assumed, which is why it's more crucial we keep him in pocket as a bargaining chip. Alright, the hidden entrance is over there. Well, what do you think you're doing in here? I'm here to pick up Vec on boss's orders. I need a little more than that. Right. Okay, so this can prepare this, which works well for us. So now this will do 7 to 9, and we'll get to draw a card. Drawing Blacklist feels bad. Nice. Good quality high roll. Nothing to benefit from preparing a card. Let's start with this. See what we draw. Okay, so now this. Actually, let's jabber. And then we can do this to set this to snails, which will make dig free and gets us set up to upgrade.
Attention pas.
Sweet. Both our digs are going to upgrade here. Set the coin.
Pas tout sans fin.
We'll get to draw a couple here.
Ça pourrait chaud.
I like drawing cards, chat.
So. Tu as fait toi.
Hey, Bryce Tastic. Thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Yeah, life is swell. It's good to be back. Let's upgrade our digs. So all of our digs are heads now. We have all twisted digs. That's sweet. Composure 2, draw a card. Composure 4. Let's get our card draw going because we have the graph that does damage when we shuffle our deck, which is great. Deal max damage, prepared, gain an action. This is free if it's prepared. That's really good. We have a number of things that help us prepare cards. Take him. I wish they would tell us these things. Hello, Rook. Sure glad to see you. You never know when dealing with the rise, you know? Trust everything went smoothly. Really appreciate it. They love us, chat. We rescued them. 95 shills. I'll take some resolve back. Love it. Weaponsmith. Rook Nose is here in the bog. I'll take the freebie. Krog is happy to see you. I found something the other day, made me think of you. Cripple. Love it. So, one of the things that's kind of sweet is the mechanic Replenish. Replenish means that when this card is drawn, you draw another card. Because often in deck building games like this, an optimal strategy is you want to keep your deck as small as possible. And I love the Replenish mechanic that Griftlands uses because it encourages you to draft more cards. Because drafting more cards is fun. So you don't get really punished for having this card in your deck while you wait to use its 2 temporary uses. Because Replenish lets you pick up something else alongside. It's not just like gumming up your hand when you're not ready to use it. Thanks, Polisar. Put it to good use. File our report at the dead drop. You find evidence of a fight and a damaged enforcer. It seems to be stuck in some kind of diagnostic loop. The panel is open, exposing the controls. Well, it's in a loop, so let's try and press next. The automech springs to life. Attack routine selected. Target locked in. Alright, well, we should have left it alone. Turns out we should have left it alone. Oh, it's damaged at least. Apply mark. Whenever you attack this target, gain 1 charge and reduce mark by miles. Seem very good. Sucker punch. Apply a cripple. Additional effect if you have no charge. Deal damage. Heal cost but expensive card. I'll grab sucker punch. You arrive at the drop point, this time without ambush. You jot down and bird scratch. Only you and a few others understand, detailing what you've learned. You file your report and find a message left by your counterpart on the other side of the wall. Print instructions read, proceed to the bog access gate and facilitate the entry of Sandaro to the bog, accompanied by his cargo, Oshnu. Escort them to the black market, ensuring safe arrival of the cargo. After transaction, eliminate with discretion. Deliver proof of completion to Hebel for your payment. Well, poop. It's a very brutal world. You find Sonara an animated conversation with the gate guard. I have the paperwork. You need to let me in. I told you already the authorization is out of date. As of when? As of now, because I said so. Look, I don't make the rules. I just get to enforce them, get the right stamps, and you can go through. Let's convince them to let them through, huh? I'd be surprised if the paperwork were wrong. The Admiral is very diligent. Let me take a look. At the start of its turn, steal 1 card from Rook and hold it hostage. It's unfortunate. Didn't have any extra actions to use there. Draw 2 cards. Discard a card. Get 2 bonus actions. Give your currently prepared card plus 3 bonus damage until the end of turn. Alright, so let's set this to head so these can be freebies.
Osakia. Shasatsushu.
Solid. The digs are really good. Rig 2, then prepare a card. Might actually be useful. We have a couple of things that are prepare effects at this point. Although I guess some of our prepare effects are... Yeah, I actually don't think that's very useful. A lot of our prepare effects are things like give us extra actions, so like spending an action to prepare doesn't seem like a lot of upside. You're right, I did misread the second clause of subsection 37 of the 3rd page. You could go on through. Impressive work. I assume you're my contact? Indeed, I'm your silver tongue or bullet, whichever the situation requires. Sooner I'm back to Murder Bay, the better. Let's do it. Yeah, take them up here to the black market. It's a long way. I'm sure we're about to get stopped. Yeah. The usual cacophony of bog life falls silent, and you realize you're being followed. I know you're there. Why not be civilized about this and show yourself so you can be reasonable adults? In the name of the Rise, we're here to commandeer this shipment for the good of the cause. I feel like we're pro-Rise, so I'm going to hand over the cargo. They're all yours, really? I mean, of course, no one dares stand against our might. A dead grifter could grift no more. Job failed. Arnett emerges from the back of the bar. We have a reason to speak. Always willing to talk to a friend, or to you even. I have researched your past and your connections. I have seen reports of what you do when you're not working for Felmo. You're charmed by work on him, but I'm far more diligent. Great, so you've done your homework. What do you want? Do you know why the Barons are in the bog? I always assumed you got your kicks watching poor folks work at digging holes. The point is... No, the work is the point, not the workers. We would be much more profitable with fewer mouths to pay and fewer rebellion bones to break. And to that end, we've been testing a machine for automated digging. But it malfunctions, destroying a valuable company asset. I need you to decommission the machine by force. You Barons have a lot more firepower than I do. Why are you sending me to do this? I could send a patrol, but there would be casualties, and casualties mean paperwork. How big is it? It's an auto mech that we recovered from the bog, probably a battle unit, judging by its design. You found an ancient battle mech, you decided to use it to dig holes. Creating holes in the ground is not that different from creating holes in opponents. Harsh but fair. Harsh but fair. You approach the dig site and find a small contingent of barons holding perimeter around the main pit. All is quiet, but the faint charnel smell hangs in the air, hinting at recent violence. You're the Itachi Arnett appointed. That's a much fancier title than I'm used to. Most folks call me Grifter. I'll call you whatever you want if you can get us out of this situation. I enjoy a challenge. Where's the device? The device is currently at the bottom of the pit, probably recharging for another attack. Do we ask for some friends, or do we think we can do it on our own? I feel like we should ask for some friends. I've already lost 3 people and a mech. My quarterly report is going to be hard enough. You're the expert. You go do the job. Let me break down the cost benefit for you. Okay, so if I can break down any of these, I get them on my side. So I have to attack these subsets of things. Alright, and then to end this, I have to get all the way back around to the card that actually ends the fight, right? So I currently have 2 allies, 1 to my side. Draw a card, then prepare a card. Gain some bonus actions next turn. Don't really have anything useful to do here at the moment. So they won the robot back then, because this was going on for so long, is basically what happened. And fortunately don't have any... Oh, I have a way to set the coin. See, I don't have a way to set the coin, but that's not true. I have this. Okay, so... let's do this. Then do this to gain some composure, which makes this free. Prepare this. And then I have to basically keep going until... Yeah, they literally don't have anything I can attack here, but I have to keep going until I find the card that ends the conversation, I think. That's how this works. Which is unfortunate, because they, like, got the mech back now. Okay, so this ends the battle, but I don't have this guy, this potential ally, so I probably want to end it this turn.
Delta.
Upgrade Grumble. I probably would like to thin some of these Grumbles out of my deck. They're not particularly good. And I think the black market lets us thin cards out of our deck. We probably want to go there at some point. Head Turner's great. It's a good card for the prepared mechanic. Take some of my assets, but don't break them. You signal to the volunteers that approach the pit, holding you personally responsible for any of my losses. You see a faint glow deep in the bowels of the bog. You pick up a small rock and throw it. There's a rush of hot air as the mech rises up. New target detected. Engage this. Well, it's taking a lot of damage. We've got a lot of friends with our dogs. Woof, woof. Kick it. Ugh. Wow, this thing has a ton of health. Gain 6 defense at the end of every turn. Immune to bleed and wound. Good lord. I'm glad we got a couple of friends. Whoa! They have friends too. Wait, does this say it's gonna die? Will die this turn. How is it dying this turn? Oh, this is the dog. Okay. Alright, I thought these numbers were so close. I was like, this guy's got way too much health to be dying this turn, right? Oh, geez, it did gain a thing. I thought the shield went up because of the armor. Yeah, I wasted those attacks, huh? You have to kill these little things. You can't just ignore them. That's unfortunate. I can apply defense to my allies at least here, though. Pretty big waste. Oh, it's immune to wound, right? That was bad. Yeah, it's a robot. I'm glad we talked our way into some friends here, because this fight would be a lot less close. Great! It's halfway down. It's preparing something on this turn. Oh, it got stunned. That's great. So anyways, I came in blasting, chat. Alright, so there's the pups again. Let's not make this mistake another time. Of course we low-rolled that. Oh, I could have just kicked it, huh? Should have just skipped it. Squad's about to take a lot of damage here. I like how it's shooting out of its leg. Just like has its leg kicked up here. Hey, look at that. We're gonna level up some battle cards. That's exciting. Maybe I should have applied some defense there. I don't know. I'm not super worried about our health total getting a little bit low here because we don't fight that often. Alright, we did it, fam. Hey, Shadow Rel, thanks for 28 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Draw a card, attack. I think I'd rather attack twice. I think I'd rather my things just deal more damage. Spend 1 charge, deal 6 bonus damage. Spend up to 2 charges, deal 3 damage per charge spent. Hey, D. Brian. Thanks for the 36 months. I appreciate the 3 years of support. It's a long time. Those seem very good for us. All attacks are piercing until end of turn. Apply burn. Spend a charge. Gain 2 actions. That's sweet. The automech falls to the ground. Its control circuits irreparably scrambled. You have my respect, Grifter. Thanks for lending a hand, or at least the hands of others. I commend you on your skill, Grifter. It's a cold day when someone creaking old automech gets the best of me. Are we square now? Well, square enough that I'll permit you to continue to draw breath, but I do not trust you. Don't fall over yourself expressing gratitude. Take this trinket in payment. Felmo trusts you. We both know how ill-considered most of his decisions are. I'll be watching you. Get a graft. The start of each battle, gain 2 charge. First attack, battle, applies 2 scourge. At the start of each turn, applied mark. What does mark do? When you attack this target, gain 1 charge or reduce 1 mark. That's interesting. I'm going to start with some charge. How does this compare to Slay the Spire? So, it's similar to Slay the Spire in that you're building decks as you play through. It's different from Slay the Spire in 2 really critical ways, though. The first is that, in addition to having a deck that allows you to battle opponents when you're making decisions through the game, there's also a negotiation deck where you can talk your way out of situations instead of killing your way out of them. The other way it differs is that this game has a full RPG element to it, in that a lot of times you have decisions between whether or not you're punching your way out of something or whether or not you're going to talk your way out of it. And even then, inside of that, you have, sometimes there's trees of like, you can intimidate versus persuade them. And how your run plays out is impacted not only by variance, but also by what decisions you're making with the character. For example, we're going to be done playing for today's set, because I want to go check on the kids and eat some lunch, but we've been playing for 2 hours and 10 minutes on Griftlands today, and we're only on day 2 of 5 with this character. And there's a ton of replayability here because your runs differ based on your decisions with the characters and how you play out within those decisions. And obviously you can set up things with, like Slay the Spire does, where there's different difficulties or modifiers or stuff like that. There's currently 2 characters fully done, I believe, and the start of a 3rd, and they plan to expand it some more. So, as I mentioned at the start, today this segment is sponsored by Clay that makes the game. And if you want to check it out on Steam there, you can do that. How long do runs typically last? I don't have a good grasp on that. I think Sal's the only one I've played fully start to finish. I've died with Rook throughout my runs at various points, and Sal I think took almost 4 hours for us to do a full run. However, like, I was BSing with chat and reading through all the dialogue and stuff, so like if you're like skipping through dialogue and like trying to power through, probably still 2 hours or more per run for each unique experience. Sly Jr., thanks for 3 months. Yeah, we played some Slay on stream, and it wasn't one I really enjoyed. And this one, the RPG element of this is really well done, and the world's really cohesive and immersive, and I enjoy it. It feels a lot like a classic RPG game where instead of like variance and dexterity deciding what your character does, you're like, your RNG is how your deck plays out. I played Sail, and you can speedrun it super quick, but 2 to 3 hours, no distraction, sounds about right. Okay, yeah, sweet. At any rate, we're gonna finish this run tomorrow, hopefully, depending on how long it takes. We might do this run for most of the 3 days, depending on how long it goes. So, like, this says we're only 25% progress through this, and I would like to play it out, hopefully, all the way if we don't die. I'm gonna be wrapping with Griftlands again tomorrow and Wednesday. I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Historic on Magic Arena to start. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out, and I appreciate everybody dropping in, and shout out to all the resubs today on my first day back. I really appreciate the support, folks. Hope you're having a good one wherever you are. Peace.